Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Oh, of course I was muted. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for a very happy 4th of July special edition of Tony Metro Live. And I think that we may have just watched the best victory of the season for the New York Mets. You consider all of the circumstances, the streak that they have been on for nearly a month, falling out of first place, losing ground even in the National League wildcard spot, the way their offense and lineup has looked during that time, the fact the Mets just put 2 more pitchers on the injured list today, on the heels of putting 2 more on yesterday, and the Mets come out and beat the Yankees in the Subway Series opener, a final score of 6-5 in a game where they had Justin Hageman starting and Austin Warren piggybacking him. The Mets lineup and the Mets bullpen late in this game holds firm as they cruise to the 6-5 victory on the bat of Jeff McNeil with the eventual game-winning 2-run homer with 2 outs to give the Mets the lead. Guys, I really think that was probably the best win of the season for the Mets. What is up, guys? I am Tony Metro. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I do daily Mets content. We do a Mets recap after every single game. Be sure to subscribe and leave this video a like. Really appreciate it. Goes a long way toward helping out the channel. Also, if you want to follow me on any of my other platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, links to all of those are in the bio below. Let's head to the chat real quick because it is popping off already. Stefan from Amsterdam, what is up, my man? Big win, LGM, blue and orange hearts. Let's go, baby. Nico says, what a game. Look, even if you're just a baseball fan, what a game. I mean, that was back and forth the entire way. The Yankees come out swinging back-to-back homers off Justin Hageman, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to get ugly fast. And Juan Soto, perhaps with his finest moment as a Met, comes through with a 2-run homer to tie it up immediately against his former team, with Mets fans cheering him, Yankee fans booing him, and it just set the tone for what was an amazing 4th of July edition of the Subway Series. That was a fun game through and through. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if I'd be saying that had the Mets lost, but that's not the case. They take home the W. Adam, redacted message. Nico, yeah, I was muted. I apologize, guys. My bad. Let's see. D-Rails, what's up, man? You got to be pumped about that win, D-Rails, huh? Ghost of Maiden's Peak. Tony, I was dead wrong. I said this should be an easy sweep for the Yankees. They are in serious trouble. The Yankees lose their 7th game in a row. The Mets win their 3rd game in a row, coming off winning 2 out of 3 against Milwaukee. Obviously, pitching matchups not in the Mets' favor for this weekend. Going with Justin Hageman today, Frankie Montas tomorrow, and Brandon Waddell on Sunday. Stroman, we know he can be had, but the Mets get 3 runs off of him, but overall not a terrible start for Stroman. But man, we all kind of were worried about how this weekend would look, especially the Yankees coming off a 6-game losing streak, 4-game sweep at the hands of Toronto, falling out of first place in the American League East. You'd think they were going to come out super juiced for this one, and it's not that the Yankees played poor. The Mets played better. The Mets bats came through more, just a little bit, than the Yankees end up doing. So happy about that. Stefan, we needed some oxygen that 9th inning. We really didn't, though, which is crazy because Reed Garrett goes 1, 2, 3. And I'm saying to my friend on the phone during the 8th inning, it is pivotal that he gets through the 8th inning and keeps the 8, 9, and 1 in the order due up at the plate in the top of the 9th inning, because you don't want to be facing Aaron Judge at all. But Reed Garrett, excellent, gives up just a base hit. He gets a 6-out save. We're trying to think, how are the Mets going to even get get a full 9 innings out of this team and pitch all 9 innings. But then we're thinking when the Mets get the lead on Jeff McNeil's 2-run homer, how are they going to close this one out? Braziban just pitched in the top of the 7th. I thought they might let Braziban go for the 8th inning, then ask Reed Garrett to get a 3-out save in the 9th. Instead, Mendy going to Garrett in the 8th, despite the struggles that he has had since the beginning of June, a ERA that has been above 11.5, and he comes through and is nails for this team. What a performance for Reed Garrett. There are so many accolades, so many flowers that I could give to guys. Jeff McNeil with the 2-run homer, which I will eat my crow. You have probably heard it on this channel before, on any of my other platforms, that I did not think Jeff McNeil would bring anything to this team anymore after how he has performed for the last 2 years. Jeff McNeil has been fantastic this season. The game-winning homer, his 9th of the season, and the beautiful play for the 2nd out in the 9th inning. How he flagged down that little flare to his left and still had time to get to his feet and throw the runner out is beyond me. It was Jeff McNeil's day, and he is appropriately on the thumbnail of this video. Guys, sound off in the chat. How are you feeling? Is this the best win of the season for the Mets? I personally think so. It might be recency bias, but again, consider where they are coming from that stretch that they were playing poor baseball. The fact they just took 2 out of 3 against Milwaukee, first series W. Obviously, this could have been a letdown series against the Yankees. It still could go the wrong way if they don't win one of the next 2. But to come out today, the bats look energized. Juan Soto is just a triple short of the cycle against his former team. This, in my opinion, is the best win of 2025. Let's go to the chat real quick. 2 Cats. Jeff McFeeble has been him this season 100%. McNeil cooked, says Nico. Let's see. Yeah, D-Rails told y'all about McNeil, Mr. Clutch. Adam was at the game today. Man, what a game to be at, dude. You are lucky. I was planning to go to those games this weekend, but decided I'm actually going to go out to New York next week or the week after. So unfortunately, I missed a great one today, but Adam, glad you were able to get out there for sure. Sandman Games, congrats on 2K subs, my man. Thank you, Sandman. Yes, I'm at 2K subs now here on YouTube. Thank you to all of you guys for subscribing and for continuously tuning in to Tony Metro Live after each and every Mets game. It's all a credit to you guys. So thank you. Stefan, first inning was fire. Yep, like I said, set the tone for this one. Yankees with the back-to-back jacks, and we're thinking, oh boy, this is going to be a long game. And instead, Soto comes right back and pops that opposite field homer to left center field. And that just, hurt Yankee fans' souls. After the way they shut down Juan Soto in the first edition of the Subway Series in the Bronx, with them coming off a 6-game losing streak and falling out of first place, this was about probably as painful of a Subway Series loss that the Yankee and Yankee fan has ever experienced. And it's only July 4th, so look, they have time to turn it around. The Mets have time to continue turning it around. It looks like maybe we rounded that corner, but I think this one particularly stung the Yankee fan today. Let's see. Everyday Mets, we should retire Luke Weaver's number. Luke Weaver is having a tough go. He just gave up the go-ahead grand slam to Giancarlo Stanton the other day, to George Springer the other day in Toronto. So yeah, Weaver's not been so great lately for the Yankees. Yankee fans, they love to see a guy pitch 2 or 3 good innings for them in relief and all of a sudden want to make him the closer. Well, Luke Weaver looks like he might be coming back down to earth, maybe. I don't know. It's probably just a little bit of a rough patch for him. He is a good pitcher for sure, but last 2 times I've seen him, he's been giving up go-ahead home runs. So tough time for Luke Weaver, not our problem. Red Bear Fox, McNeil was a stud. Taylor continues to be a dud. Yes. Tyrone Taylor, I think the only guy in the bottom of the lineup that did not have a base hit today. He did draw a walk, but it has been rough for Tyrone Taylor for sure. The batting average is around 210 at this point. I mean, I never thought I'd be begging for Jose Siri to get back, but dang, I got to see something else because Taylor is not getting the job done. And if Jeff McNeil keeps doing what he's doing, McNeil is going to get more time in center field than he is already. Explosive diarrhea, my man in the chat. Hold on, let me get to two cats though real quick. Yankee fans must be hurt. Started 48-19 last season with Soto. Now starting 48-40 this time around. LOL. Yeah, and they say they don't need him. They have Trent Grisham and Ben Rice. Don't you know? They're way better than Juan Soto. That was the talk around Yankee Town at least the first 2 months of this season. They don't need Juan Soto because Ben Rice and Trent Grisham had such great starts to the first 2 months of the season. They are delusional, but not our problem, as I like to say here. So hold on, I'm going to get through to the box score and share my screen with you guys. Again, the Mets with the 6-5 win in the opening game of the Subway Series edition at Citi Field. Homers from Juan Soto, homer from Brett Baty, game-winning homer from Jeff McNeil. Oscar Brazaban strikes out Aaron Judge in a scoreless 7th inning, and then Reed Garrett coming on to close things out. A 6-out save in the 8th and 9th inning. Wow, what a game, guys. I am juiced about this one. Explosive Diarrhea, get the likes up for Tony. Thank you, Explosive Diarrhea. I appreciate that. Definitely leave a like on this, guys, if you're a Mets fan or if you're a Yankees fan. I mean, that'd be cool too. Or just a baseball fan. Red Bear Fox, Mauricio has some raw talent, but his baseball IQ is non-existent. That was a bad play. That looked like a pivotal one coming right after Brett Baty had the solo homer to make it 5-4. Mauricio rips a ball down the right field line. That Judge just plays the carom perfectly off the wall, holds him to a single. And then it looks like Jazz Chisholm makes a high throw that is going to allow Tyrone Taylor to get on base. And instead, DJ LeMahieu able to keep it in his glove, but his foot's off the base. And yeah, Mauricio just, inexplicably, gets off the base. I mean, it's weird because on the replay, you see Mauricio turn back to right field looking for the ball and he takes off. Clearly, he never saw where the ball is. He was just taking off for third. Not a good play from Mauricio at all, but almost hit a home run in this game too to left center field. So the swing for Mauricio for the most part has looked a lot better than what we saw over the first 3 weeks or so of him getting the jump to Major League Baseball. So it's a little bit of good, it's a little bit of bad, but that was a bad one for sure. Everyday Mets, the Mets win 3 in a row. Yes, sir. Let's go, baby. Stefan HML, let's go for the sweep with Montas and Waddell. We might break the Yankee fan base if the Mets sweep a Subway Series from them, in which we started Justin Hageman, Brandon Waddell, and Frankie Montas. Yankee fans' heads might literally explode if the Mets found a way to win tomorrow and on Sunday. Like, that would be unreal. And also, by the way, in the process, hand the Yankees their 9th consecutive loss. I don't know if I could even have my Yankee fan friends have to bear that, because I don't know if they can handle that. So it would be nice to get a sweep, though, all jokes aside. Let's see. Nico says we can't forget about Baty's solo homer. Yep, Baty's solo homer to cut it to 5-4. Baty also with another base hit in this game as well. So pretty solid day for Brett Baty for sure. Had the error yesterday, which was frustrating. Didn't have particularly good at bats. Struck out in one of them yesterday against Milwaukee, but comes through. Base hit, home run today. That home run in the middle of what was a 5-3 game, and that was after the 2-run homer from Jason Dominguez, his second of the game, and that really was crucial that Baty was able to chip into that lead, get it down to a 1-run game. And then for Pete Alonso, let's be real, what an at-bat from Pete Alonso. 3-2 count with Luke Weaver having just came into the game. Takes a changeup that didn't miss by a whole lot. It's ball 4. It sets up Jeff McNeil to come to the plate, and Jeff comes through with the game-winning 2-run homer. I mean, just a blast into the second deck. It was awesome. Let's see. Explosive Diarrhea. Nico, Pete walk was up. There you go. Explosive Diarrhea. I swear I said that before I saw what you said in the chat, Explosive Diarrhea. But yes, the Pete walk was huge to set up the at-bat for McNeil. Everyday Met says Pete hit it off Volpe's glove, a hit or a gift. He hit that hard enough that it definitely is a hit, in my opinion. It got scored a hit, and I think that's the correct scoring because it wasn't directly at Volpe, but Volpe is a bust for sure. I know he's won a gold glove. Okay, that guy won a gold glove last year, and Francisco Lindor didn't. Okay, for sure. Whatever you say. Not so sure about that one, but let's see. Red Bear Fox, is the home plate umpire report card available yet? This dude was horrendous. He was really bad behind the plate, but I will say this, he was consistently bad for both sides. So I can't get too mad at him. If he was bad for one side and not the other, then yeah, I get a little more frustrated, but he was pretty evenly mediocre of a home plate umpire for both sides. You saw Boone and Mendy both chirping at him in this one throughout the game. So no big deal. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. I'm going to go to the box score here, but just give me a second while I change some settings here, because I think I know what is causing some of these issues here for us lately and why I've been buffering so much. So I'm going to just change that, and I think that we may have a more smooth, easygoing stream here. But let's get to it, guys. Let's take a look at the box score. I'll keep my eye on the chat as well, but real quick, let's just see. Stephen HML, but when was Pete's last homer? Man, it's been almost 22 games, I'm pretty sure, for Pete's last homer. Or was it 22 at-bats? I can't remember, but it's been a while for Pete's last home run. Definitely, obviously, didn't come in this past series against Milwaukee. Don't think he definitely did not have one in Pittsburgh. Did he have one against Atlanta in that series before? I don't know if he did. It's been a little while for Pete for sure. But hey, I love the plate discipline. That is what we were seeing in the beginning of the year, setting him up into good hitters counts, and that is what led to so many home runs and extra base hits. Pete has looked good the last 2 or 3 games for sure. Double off the wall yesterday, big walk today. Really, and the RBI single, which was laced past Volpe. So yeah, great appearance there from Pete Alonso. Brett Keller, LFG, yes, good to beat the Yankees and win a gritty game like that. LFGM, 100% great win. And like I said, I think it's the win of the year so far for the Mets. It's not because it's just against the Yankees, although that does always add some juice. But you think about it, with the guys that the Mets threw on the mound today, 2 quadruple A arms at their very best in Justin Hageman and in Austin Warren. And did they give you great appearances? Not the best, definitely not. It ends up being 3 solo shots off of Hageman, and then a 2-run shot from Austin Warren, the first batter he comes in to face in relief of Hageman. So 5 runs total. They end up giving us, I believe it would have been 5 or 6 innings in this one. I think they gave us 6 innings. Not the best, but again, you add up all those circumstances. The Mets are behind early. They fall behind again in the middle innings, and they find a way to come back and not only take the lead, but then hold it down without arguably 3 of their best relievers, without Jose Butto, without Dednell Nunez, and of course, without the most important one, Edwin Diaz. And that, in my opinion, 2 separate comebacks in this game, pitching the guys we pitched. This, in my opinion, is the best win of the season for the Mets so far. Sound off in the chat. What do you guys think? Is this the #1 win of the year for you guys? Or is there another one that maybe I'm just not thinking of right now? To the chat real quick. Red Bear Fox says, no, I'm sorry. Absol, actually, I missed a couple here. James Lee. That's who I want to get to. I'm sorry, James. James says it was an error. Volpe was on the grass outside the dirt. LOL. Wow. So they did charge him an error on that. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the box score right now. But yeah, that was an error. That's a tough error. I mean, that was a short hop on a line, and he had to move to his right for it. So I'm actually really surprised they did charge Volpe with an error on that, especially home team scorer. You know, you think you're probably going to give Pete Alonso a hit and an RBI there from the home team scorer. But wow, kind of surprised by that. Good call there by you, James Lee. Stephen says the ump screwed Judge too, man. Yeah. Judge got rung up on a ball that was clearly outside from Brosbaum, but yeah, he was all over the place. Absol Squirrel Power. Absol Yankees drop 5, go from first to third in 2 days. Oof, it is not a good time in Yankee land. Everyday Mets, my favorite game of 2025. Last game when we swept the Phillies at Citi Field. I would say that was probably when the Mets were at their very highest this year after that sweep of the Phillies at Citi Field back in, I guess that was April, right? And now this, in my opinion, will go down to this point as the best win of the season so far here in 2025. Sam again, Boone fired by the All-Star break. Nah, they love Aaron Boone over there. Everything's fine. Nothing, no problem. No need to shake things up. That's just the Yankee way nowadays. As long as they're filling seats and selling those chicken tender buckets, that is all the Yankees care about. So, well, again, we don't have to worry about that. Let's see. James Lee, he hit like the boys. What a game. Hit the likes, boys. Oh, thank you, James. Yes, hit those likes, guys. Really appreciate that. Helps me out. Explosive diarrhea. Sandman, if Boone is fired, Rojas will be manager. Oh, my God. I didn't even think about that. What a call from Explosive Diarrhea. Luis Rojas would take over as their manager, potentially. I think he's their third base coach. So that would be very entertaining to see how Yankee fans would react to Mets retread Luis Rojas going on to manage the Yankees if they ever made that change midseason and fired Aaron Boone. But Rod Soto showing up today against his former team and McNeil with the clutch home run. What a win, but my fears kind of came true with the rookie starting on the mound today. Yeah, I mean, look, this isn't his first ever appearance in the big leagues for Hageman, but I mean, it was either him or you went to one of the other rookies, which is what I said they should have done, which was to scratch Nolan McLean yesterday from his AAA start, have him start today, and then potentially do the same with Brandon Sproat and have him start one of these next two games. So the Mets pretty much are out of options, and they just add Jose Butto with an illness to the injured list. They are hoping that he might return before the All-Star break or shortly after it. They didn't say anything more than it's an illness, which is kind of weird. But big day for Soto. Here is how he is ranked in Major League Baseball since May 30th. He is 7th in average at 342. He is 3rd in home runs with 13. He is 1st in on-base percentage at 482. Slugging percentage, 2nd in all of baseball at 739. And his OPS, 1.221. That is the best in Major League Baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, it is more than fair to say that Juan Soto has arrived for the New York Mets. This, in my opinion, was his most vintage moment so far in the orange and blue. For him to hit the game-tying home run, yes, it was in the first inning, so it might be overshadowed a bit by how entertaining this game was, how many more home runs there were. But after the Yankees opened the game going back-to-back and the way Soto played in the Bronx during the first Subway Series, this to me was easily the most shining moment for Juan Soto in a Mets uniform, and I hope he continues to torch the Yankees this weekend. 3 hits, he falls just a triple shy of the cycle. What a freaking performance, and we got this guy for 14 more years after this. I am pumped. All right, so quickly, I mean, look, I've kind of already weaved the whole game recap into this one, but obviously it's Dominguez and Judge with the back-to-back shots. Soto ties it up. Mets take the lead on the Pete Alonso base hit in the 3rd inning, and then in the 4th, it's Cody Bellinger, who is a total scrub seemingly against everybody else in the league except the Mets. He has 13 home runs this year. 3 of them have come against the Mets now. So I am sick of Cody Bellinger, have always been sick of Cody since he was a member of the Dodgers, always seems to kill us. And then in the 5th, the Yankees go back up and they get a 2-run shot from Jason Dominguez as Austin Warren comes in. And then the Mets able to get one back in the bottom of the 6th, the Brett Beatty solo shot, and then that leads to Jeff McNeil's go-ahead 2-run homer in the 7th. Great day for the offense. Even on a day when Francisco Lindor, which this is a concern, but not for today, but on a day where Francisco Lindor goes 0 for 4 and does not reach base, the Mets end up putting up 6 runs. I love it. Good day for Nimmo. I mean, 1 for 4, but still he gets the double to start the game off for them, and that he comes around to score on Soto's home run. Obviously, Soto, like I said, 3 for 4, 2-run shot, a double, a single. Probably one of the best performances we've seen from Juan Soto so far. Pete Alonso with the RBI hit. His average at 287 and OPS at 909. And then Jeff McNeil, 836 OPS. I would never have guessed. I would never have guessed. And like I said earlier in the stream, guys, I've got to eat my crow. I did not think Jeff McNeil would be able to be a contributor to this Mets team in 2025. Not after what we've seen from him in 23 and most of last season. And Jeff McNeil has been awesome. The batting average isn't what it was in 2022, but I will take an 836 OPS and a 260 batting average over him hitting 317, 325, whatever it was when he won the batting title for the National League back then. Okay, I mean, I will take the power, I will take the clutchness, the home runs that we're getting from Jeff McNeil any day of the week over him hitting slap singles all over the field like he did 3 years ago. So credit to Jeff McNeil. What a job from him. Brett Beatty, like I said, 2 hits today. I know I get on him a lot. Literally just last night was saying I don't believe in him. I need to continue seeing a lot more days like this for me to ever believe in him, but good for Brett Beatty tonight. Mauricio 1 for 4. He has the running blunder. That really sucked, but he does have that not RBI, but that hit down the right field line that was smoked so hard that it holds him to a single. And then he has one to left center field in the 8th inning as the Mets are vying for an insurance run that just dies on the track. So much better swings from Ronnie Mauricio lately. Super stoked about that. Bad day for Tyrone Taylor. What is new? It has just been such a struggle for him. He reaches base once and 4 at-bats with the walk, but batting average to 213, OPS to 584, below 600. Not good enough. Not going to get the job done. But let's take a look at the pitching really quick. So we know Hageman gave us 4 1/3 innings pitch. He ends up getting charged with 4 runs. The first 3 solo home runs from Judge, Dominguez, and Bellinger. He departs the game in the 5th inning with 1 out after giving up a base hit to DJ LeMahieu. Austin Warren comes in and literally the very first batter he faces, it's another home run for Dominguez, a 2-run shot. So that 1 run that was on the base runner of LeMahieu gets charged to Hageman. It's 1 2/3 innings pitched for Austin Adam. I don't know why. It's just Austin Warren. 1 2/3 innings pitched. He gives up 2 hits, one of them the blast. He also walks 2 guys, but he strikes out 1. Actually has a 1.80 ERA, and that was after he had that terrific performance against the Braves when Griffin Canning had to exit after he ruptured his Achilles. So Austin Warren has not exactly been someone we want to see, but he hasn't been outright terrible. Still able to get 5 outs even after the go-ahead 2-run homer. And then Brazoban, nice to see a clean inning from him. He actually strikes out 3 in the inning. He also walked a guy, but really nice to just see a goose egg up on the board from Brazoban. And I mean, what more could you say about Reed freaking Garrett? The Mets have absolutely no pitching today. They are using Hageman and Warren, and they had to call up Chris Davinsky today after Jose Butto got put on the injured list. And Reed Garrett comes out, and despite how poorly he has pitched over the last month, grabs his own balls and says, I got you. 2 innings of scoreless ball to shut this game down. What a freaking performance from Reed Garrett. You love to see it. So the Mets improved to 51-38. They are now 13 games over 500, and the Phillies lost as well. Thank you for pointing that out, Stefan. The Phillies lose to the Cincinnati Reds today by a final of 9-6. So the New York Mets are back within a half game of first place in the National League East. Very nice. Very nice last 2.5 days of baseball for the Mets. I mean, I say 2.5 because they split the doubleheader Wednesday, but then they come back. They win yesterday to take the series against Milwaukee, and now today getting the opener against the Yankees. So I am pumped. I am juiced, guys. How are you feeling? Let me know. RM, what's up, Tony? Happy 4th. Great win. 100%, man. I am pumped about it as well. I got to go up a little more. D-Rel says, I can't believe Acuna's an all-star over Soto. I mean, Acuna's a beast, but yeah, no, Soto seems deserving. I think because of the slow start and when all-star voting opened up, it made it, more easy for Acuna, who out of the gate was kind of on fire for Atlanta when he returned from his injury, to get more votes from Braves fans. But I'm with you, man. New York fans should always be out voting all these other cities, but we also don't really get too caught up with those dopey little things like smaller market teams do, and so I think that's part of it as well. But let's see. Edward Christian Aquan, I hope Mets turn it around. Garrett's outing was superb, and McNeil was so underrated this year. Happy 4th, guys. Happy 4th to you, Edward. 100%, man. What a performance from Reed Garrett, and Jeff McNeil has made me shut up. I was wrong about this guy. I am always willing to admit it, and I say this all the time. I would rather be wrong and happy about the Mets than be right and miserable. So I will gladly eat the crow when I am wrong about a Mets player that I didn't think was going to be a contributor, and they proved me wrong. So I am stoked about what we have gotten here from Jeff McNeil this season. D-Rose, Eva Solano, can you teach him how to run, though? Regarding You're talking about Ronnie Mauricio. I'm thinking Buzz Bass, what's up, man? I'm sorry I didn't see your chat before. Tony, what's up? Happy 4th, buddy. Today's a great day. It is. I am going to enjoy my burgers and dogs in about an hour here. So, yes, a very, very good day to be a Mets fan, guys. Let's see. Elvis, you were somewhere here in the chat, man. I can't see it now, so I'm looking for everyone, trying to give everyone their shouts. James Lee, Nimmo batting first is working, boys. I really think it is. I mean, look, Nimmo seems to just be able to hit wherever he is in the lineup, first, second, fifth, sixth, doesn't seem to matter right now. Brandon Nimmo is the next hottest thing in the galaxy after the sun, and he might actually be approaching that territory. So great last month for Brandon Nimmo, and I'm not changing this lineup. Unfortunately, Lindor takes an 0 for today, but has definitely looked much better in the 2 games against Milwaukee since they moved him to the 2 spot. So it's a matter of time. We know Lindor can be a little slumpy at times, a little streaky, but it's a matter of time, in my opinion, that he will eventually get going. That is the great thing about a talented lineup. Right now, it's Nimmo and Soto leading the way, while Lindor and Alonso aren't exactly doing what the back of their baseball card says they would normally do. But if Soto or if Nimmo go into a slump that every player does, hopefully by that time you got Lindor, Alonso to pick up the slack. We'll maybe see some additions at the trade deadline. We'll be getting Jesse Winker back shortly. So hopefully it is all coming together for this lineup. Great day. Great job by the lineup today. Let's see. Stefan Vientos and Marte back tomorrow, I think. I don't know who is on the mound for the Yankees, so let's actually take a look at that really quickly. I'll pull that up, and we can preview tomorrow's game as well. But the Mets will, of course, we know, have Frankie Montas pitching for them, so that's a little concerning. But who thought the Mets were going to win a game with Brandon Hageman or Justin Hageman starting for them? So it is Carlos Rodon. So yes, a lefty. So pretty much guarantee it's going to be Starling Marte, and it's going to be Mark Vientos back in the lineup tomorrow. But maybe we see Jeff McNeil in center and Brett Beatty at second base, or at least Jeff McNeil in center. I think you got to play Jeff McNeil, especially after the game he had here today. 100%. Beatty, I can understand if you don't give him the start against a tough lefty who is having a nice bounce back season for the Yankees so far this year in 18 starts, a 2.95 ERA for Carlos Rodon, over 106 innings. He's had a couple not so great starts lately from what I can tell. Last time out, not bad at all, actually. No, he's been fine. That's culpa mia, my mistake. Last time out against Toronto, 5 innings, 2 runs, and then before that against the Reds, 6 innings of shutout ball. Before that, there was a little bit of a rough stretch where he went 6 innings, 3 runs, 5 innings, 3 runs, and then 5 innings, 5 runs against Boston, going from June 8th to the 19th. So Rodon really having an overall really solid season. Tough lefty. Guarantee that Marte will be in there, and I personally think Jeff McNeil should be getting the start in center field tomorrow after the performance he had here today. Rod says, now look at the other New York team in a free fall. They're in as bad of a free fall right now as the Mets were. The Yankees are wearing it. I mean, this is their 7th consecutive loss. Not only do they fall out of first place, they have fallen into 3rd place, and they are now actually the 2nd wild card team in the American League. So this is as bad, if not worse, than what the Mets just experienced. So not a great time if you're a Yankees fan, and we could all give them some advice on how to handle it. Just scream and shout and pound your fists on the table until things get better, right? That's what we do as Mets fans. I know that's what I do, but you guys still come to watch the streams though, so I don't know. Maybe you all do the same thing at home. Scott Smart's Publix, tune in my face. Okay, for sure. Every day coming together. Yeah, for sure. I hear you. Let's see. Sandman Games, Rodon and Fried. So Fried is pitching in this series. I thought we were going to avoid him in this one because he had just pitched recently against Toronto for the Yankees. But damn, I didn't know we were going to have to face Max Fried in this one. Oof. Now, imagine if the Mets sweep the Yankees with Justin Hageman, Frankie Montas, and Brandon Waddell while they had Rodon and Fried starting 2 of those games. They will absolutely lose their minds if that happens. I'm not going to bet on it, but hopefully the Mets are able to take one of these next 2, win their 2nd consecutive series, and then they have Baltimore and Kansas City to round things out before the All-Star break. I would love to see the Mets win at least 2 of these next 3 series. And if you win tomorrow's, I'd love to see them win all 3 right into that All-Star break. And I personally would feel like the sky is done falling. The second half is a new season. Let's go do what we did for the first 2 months of 2025 and get that National League East title. Who's with me? Okay. Let's see. And who is in the bullpen from tomorrow? As in who's available in the bullpen tomorrow? If they do sweep, Yankees were ready for the World Series, man. Yeah, let's go. Stefan popping off from the Netherlands. So tomorrow, we should have Edwin Diaz back available. We should have Ryan Stanek back available. They were both clearly not after pitching back-to-back days. 4 outs for Stanek yesterday, 4 outs for Diaz on Thursday or on Wednesday, I believe. So yeah, no doubt the Mets are going to need Stanek and Diaz back, because you have to assume Reed Garrett is now not available for tomorrow. As we heard earlier, Jose Butto is not available. Or is placed on the injured list, and should not be returning until after the All-Star break. And we'll see with Brosban after going an inning here today. But overall, man, I am stoked. Let's see. Michael Dougherty, Magic is back. Yeah, baby, I love it. This is one of those wins that I think could jumpstart a really fun run for this team. You go down immediately 2-0. You come back, you tie it up. Soto kind of, what's the word, exercises those demons of, how he performed in the first Subway Series against the Yankees in the Bronx with the 2-run homer. They tie the game up. They end up falling behind again. They tie it up again with unlikely contributors and Brett Beatty in a solo shot. And not that it would be all that unlikely for Jeff McNeil to do something, but I mean, that inning all started with 2 outs, a 2-out walk started by Pete Alonso, and then Jeff McNeil has a 2-strike count. It was a 3-2 pitch, and he just parks it into the second deck in right field. So this is one of those wins. Oh, and then of course, Reed Garrett with a 6-out save when Edwin Diaz and Ryan Stanek are not available. This is one of those wins that can jumpstart this team again and have them really go on to a serious streak. I'm not talking about 10 wins in a row. I'm just saying, go back to playing like that 20 games over 500 type of ball club that they were for the first 2.5 months or so of this year. So I am pumped about it. Let's see. Edward Christian Aquan Stanek is also having his groove lately. Yeah, nice performance from Stanek. 4-out save yesterday. Strikes out 3, I believe, in there. He had a really loud out for the first one to finish out the 7th inning, but then 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. So really nice job from Stanek there. He's looking a lot better. Ebbs and flows with these guys in the bullpen lately. But Stefan HML, let's see. Oh, you guys are having a little chat there amongst yourselves. Okay, so let me go back to the stream here, and we're gonna keep this one short. I know everybody's got everybody has got 4th of July plans except Stefan, because he lives in Amsterdam, but that's why we love him. Stefan is the man, guys. This dude is watching the Mets from, I don't even know, it's got to be like, what, 4,000 miles away or something like that. So love that from Stefan. But we'll keep this one short. But guys, sound off in the chat. Let me know how you feeling. Was this the best win of the season? I personally think so. If you guys have a couple of trade ideas, anything like that you want to talk about, would love to hear that from you guys. But overall, great win for the Mets today. Really stoked about it. Let's actually go to SMY, see if there's any notable clips that we want to listen to here from Mendy or from Jeff McNeil before we kind of wrap things up. But obviously, some good vibes in that clubhouse right now, without a doubt. Jeff McNeil, when that ball hit my glove, I said, oh, okay, here we go. All right, so this is Jeff McNeil talking about that play that he had in the 9th inning for the 2nd out. And what a huge play that was, because if he doesn't make that, that means that Aaron Judge is likely getting an at-bat, unless Jason Dominguez grounds into a double play. So like I said, I was thinking about it in the 8th inning when the Yankees had their 6, 7, 8 hitters coming to the plate. It was so important that they kept that order and didn't let them turn it over and get it to Judge at any point in this game moving forward. So let's hear what Jeff McNeil had to say about his play there in the 9th inning.
Go to a dive, like how aware are you even that you're gonna have time to throw it out? Just take us through it if you can.
I mean, first part of the play is get a good jump and try to get to the ball, and I felt like when that ball hit my glove, I said, "Oh, it's my glove," and then not throw them out. So I know it's a big play because I knew Judge was up 4th that inning, and we don't want him coming to the plate, and so that's why I was so excited about that one.
Jeff, that play in the 9th.
Sorry, guys. I thought my screen was sharing there, but you heard what Jeff had to say, and he goes, "Oh, shit," he says when that ball hit his glove. So even Jeff McNeil kind of, I think, surprised himself. And then you have Jeff McNeil getting the Gatorade bath from his teammates for the game-winning home run, and then, of course, that real slick play at second base. So vibes are good, guys. Vibes are looking real good again for the Mets. Again, they're not totally out of the woods yet, but I think this is one of those wins that could catapult them back into the type of baseball that they were playing. Wow, that is so loud. Sorry, guys. Some of these videos are low, some of them are loud, but I think this could be one of those wins that gets them back on track. So I am super pumped about it. But if there's nothing else here in the chat, let me just double check here. My wife's birthday is on the 4th of July. Happy birthday to your wife, Stefan. So there you go. You guys got a party out there too. Very cool. Love to see it. Let me mute this stuff over here so no one gets their eardrums blown out. But awesome win. Look at this, all this cool stuff. Francisco Lindor fired up for the sliding stop from Jeff McNeil. Love it. And here's a side view of McNeil's home run here. Oh, when he threw the bat, look, when he hit it off the bat, I'm like, that's a homer. 100% that's a homer. But we know Jeff McNeil also throws his bat when he's throwing a tantrum. And I thought he did it in disgust. And I'm like, did I not see that right? Like, did he pop that up or something? But he ends up actually, yes, just throwing the bat in jubilation as he hits the go-ahead 2-run bomb. So pumped. Sandman, Mookie approves. LOL. Yes, Mookie approves of this win today. He does not approve of the fireworks that are popping off. He actually doesn't get too scared of them, but he will bark at the fireworks. So yeah, Mookie's it's a long week for my boy Mookie over here, my German Shepherd, for those of you who don't know. But guys, I think we are going to wrap it up here. It has been a really fun day of baseball. This was a really fun stream. I know it's a little bit shorter than normal, only 42 minutes or so, but it's 4th of July. I think all of you want to go have fun too. This was an awesome win. We got 2 more with the Yankees, and let's take at least one of them. Let's see what happens. Try to win our 2nd consecutive series. Again, it's going to be Carlos Rodon taking on Frankie Montas in game 2 of the series tomorrow. Hopefully the Mets get the job done, and then maybe even are eyeing a sweep on Sunday. Could you believe that? Man, I would be juiced if that's the case. But let me say my thank yous. Thank you to Steph and HML. Thank you to Nico. Thank you to Adam. Thank you to D Rails. Thank you to Ghost of Maiden's Peak. Thank you to Two Cats. Thank you to Sandman Games. Thank you to James Lee. Thank you to Everyday Mets. Thank you to Red Bear Fox. Thank you to Explosive Diarrhea. Thank you to everyone who's commented. Explosive Diarrhea's got the best name. Thank you to Brett Keller. Thank you to Absol. Thank you to who else? I think that might be all the commenters. Elvis Solano, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you to Buzz Bass. Thank you to RM1042. Thank you to Michael Ramadath, who I'm sorry I didn't actually see your comment till now. Thank you to Rod. Thank you to Scott Smarts. Thank you to, that might be everyone, Michael Doherty. And thank you to Edward, Christian, Aguan, and Jose Lopez Moya at the buzzer. The Flying Squirrel and Soto helping the Mets get the win. Take one. Don't be conservative. Let's get a sweep. You heard it from Jose Lopez Moya there himself. Let's not settle for just 2 out of 3 this weekend. Let's sweep the Yankees into oblivion, hand them their 9th straight loss, and have the Mets rip off a 5-game winning streak. Guys, thank you all for joining. Great win for the Mets today. We'll be back tomorrow with another post-game recap after game 2 of the series. Now go enjoy your 4th of July. I know I am about to. Until then, though, I am Tony Metro. Stay true to the orange and blue.